Hey, what's going on, everybody? Yes, we are back for some more Little Big Planet TV. My name is David Dino. I'm one of the designers at Sumo Digital who've worked on Little Big Planet. We have, once again, our man behind the community,
Hello.
Stephen Isbell. And we also have a new guest tonight. This is Jad, who is also a designer and artist on Little Big Planet 3, and we also like to call him the cutscene king as well.
Yes,
if you have ever seen or played any one of the cutscenes in Little Big Planet 3, Little Big Planet Vita, and Little Big Planet Cross Controller, he is the man who did all of them. So amazing. So, hello, Sarah.
Hello, Sarah.
Oh, her heart wings are coming up, but.
It's the thought that counts.
It is the thought that counts. Last Friday, we actually won the DICE Award for Best Family Game of the Year. So that's pretty good. I think that deserves a awesome clap right there. Thank you so much for supporting our game. It's really awesome, definitely.
That
especially
was an amazing category.
Yeah, good times. The reason why we have all these hearts up here is because a little certain day is happening, I believe, on Saturday. And what day is that?
I don't know for Saturday. In terms of DLC, we have the Valentine's Day pack returning just in time because they remember the date.
Yeah. And today, Jad is going to be showing us how to create cutscenes with a little thematic lovey-dovey-ness in it. What are we looking at right now? I'm going to go over basically the basics.
I'm not the cutscene king, but I'm going to try to explain.
No.
I'm going to try to explain what are the basics to start do a movie in LBP. So, for example, here we have a sequencer. So the sequencer is really the base of a cutscene because that's where you're going to put all your elements to synchronize them on the timeline.
Excellent.
And it's the most handy thing to use for a cutscene. So on this, you're going to have cameras, animation trigger,
right?
Magic mouth if you want your characters to talk, and then music,
sound effects.
Yep.
Excellent. Sweet.
So you also need actors, which here is going to be a sidebot.
Okay.
So you have a sidebot. So we can start by the camera. So the camera, they are from LBP2, so people are kind of used to them a bit.
Right.
They're quite straightforward. So if you overlap two cameras, they're going to transition.
Okay.
And you have different type of transition, like cut, hard pan, soft pan, and those kind of stuff. And when you use two cameras, you can change the view like that.
Okay.
So if I play it,
You should have a nice little slow transition, right?
very slow.
Excellent.
Maybe faster.
So basically, when you have them overlapping like that, that's the time of the transition between the two cameras, correct?
Yeah, exactly. So now it's like 1 second per stripe, so now it's going to be 3 seconds to transition between the two.
Okay, cool deal. So you know how we're talking about transitions and everything like that. What do you find is the most useful transition?
That's a little transition I can show you a little trick about. It's when you want to go from a gameplay camera to a movie camera. You imagine you're in a level playing and you want to put a cutscene that triggers, and you don't want just a hard cut.
Right.
You can just use this little trick here. If you use the first camera here and set it to track the player.
Okay.
And you put the second camera, the soft pan here.
There it is.
Yep.
But it doesn't track the player, it's just a simple movie camera. You will have a smooth transition between the gameplay camera and the second camera. So if I unpause here, see,
Oh, nice.
A soft pan instead of a hard cut.
Okay, fair enough. Do you find that you see that a lot in community levels? You know,
yeah,
people.
I noticed that in some levels, that just like you have just a hard cut. And sometimes it doesn't really feel, good.
Right.
So it's better to just transition smoothly.
So that's really useful then.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. So yeah, that's it for the camera. So it's pretty straightforward, really. So now, if we move on to the animation trigger, which is a new thing in LBP3, of course. the thing is, when you make a cutscene, you don't have to put that animation tweaker on the sagbot.
Right.
So if I go on the sagbot here, I can assign him a label.
Okay.
Okay.
And we had that in LittleBigPlanet 2 as well, correct?
Yes.
Okay, but it's something we obviously transferred over to
Yeah.
LittleBigPlanet 3.
So if I enter a name, I don't know. What name do you want me to give him? What do you want to call him?
What should we call this sagbot?
What should we call the sackbot?
Whoa.
Jack maybe?
We'll call him Jack.
Okay, it's called
Jack the
Yeah.
sackbot.
Uh,
Jackbot.
Oh, Jackbot. There
Yeah.
you go.
Jack. Okay.
We're not referencing anybody in particular right now.
No, no.
Oh, there was Jack Boot.
Jack.
Excellent.
So I chose Jack Sagbot. Now this is the actor name now of the
Okay.
Sagbot. And if I go in the animation tweaker,
Mm-hmm.
you can see that there's also a label option here.
Oh, there we go.
So if you give it the same label as the Sagbots,
Right.
it
Yep.
will now work remotely. So you
Oh,
don't have to
okay.
wire it, or you don't have to place it directly.
Excellent.
Sagbot.
So that'll keep it nice
Keeps
and
it
clean.
clean and
Yeah.
Yeah.
orderly. You can see everything that's happening around and whatnot. So yeah.
And it allows you to keep all those animation tweaker on the timeline, which is better to synchronize it. So, for example, if I choose an animation, so everybody I think have seen that you have huge animation bank here.
Right. Yeah, it's
Lots and
pretty
lots.
big.
Just a few.
Yeah.
But we'll pick one
So
out
what are
of the
we
many.
going for?
Well, let's make him.
Sackboy. Can't go wrong with Sackboy.
I don't know. Let's make him run.
Okay.
Okay. He's in a hurry.
And actually, this is the same thing with Magic Mouth. If you want to make him talk, for example,
Right.
you also have a label option. So you choose again the same label, Jackbot.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go. And now if I type whatever, hello, something. Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for? No, don't do that.
No. And now you can see that he's gonna do the animation and talk. Like
Oh,
he's
excellent.
trying to-
Okay.
Without any wires or stuff. So that's very handy
Sweet.
for cutscenes.
So that's pretty much the basis of what
This
we
is
want to have.
Yeah, so that's just-
very, very basic of a cutscene. This,
Alright.
This is the elements you need.
Yeah.
Cool. So obviously a camera, animation tweaker. If you want the characters to talk, you
Yeah.
can go ahead and put the magic mouth, and then anything can activate the sequencer, that, and so on and so forth. Sweet.
Okay,
Cool.
So now if we move on to another scene,
Go over to the next scene.
we have two cute little characters here. So there are two Sagbots, of course. And you can see here I had the same kind of setting that we had previously. So
Okay.
camera, animation tweaker, and battery. So one thing that is good to do when you have several Sagbots in a scene,
Right.
color code your elements. So we have actor A here, that is this one here. I tagged him actor A here.
Okay.
Okay. Yep.
So you can see I put them all green,
Okay.
so I can see, okay.
Oh,
this
nice,
actor
yeah.
A is green. Actor B, this one, purple.
So I can see directly, okay. So it's a nice way to keep it tidy and
Excellent.
just know what is what. Okay, so for example, to make a Sagbot move, I'm gonna use a controlinator, sorry.
Okay.
There's different way to make a Sagbot move. You can make him record an action or use movers or make him follow a tag, but I think using a controlinator is the best way, I think, because you have more freedom.
Okay.
Right.
So that's your favourite method.
Yeah, for me.
Hmm.
So for example, if I'm gonna wire this battery into the
The left stick input. All
to
right.
make him walk to,
Right.
to the right. Let me check. No, that's all right. Okay, if I play it here, if I put this is a time marker, by the way.
Right.
You can trigger it by pressing
The
square
right?
on the edge of the
Uh-huh.
sequence.
Okay.
And you can put it anywhere actually.
You can
Yeah.
you can start it anywhere. If I put it here, it will start to read whenever you put it.
So that's a good way of testing out certain
Yeah,
things if you have like a
quickly, just-
really big
Yeah.
sequencer.
Yeah,
Quick.
exactly.
All right, cool.
So I'm gonna put it here just at the beginning. So you can see he's moving to the, he's sliding.
That's pretty sick.
You would walk like that if you could.
Most definitely.
So that's
Kind of creeper
because
though.
it's actually sliding because there's an animation tweaker here set to idle, which
Ah,
is
right.
overlapping the action of the
Right.
controlinator. So
Okay.
if I move it here, actually, you can see that he can walk.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
if you just by default, if you use a controlinator, he will walk anyway.
Right.
If you move him.
Yeah, that's the default action of the
And that's
sackbot.
and that's a default walk. So if you want a specific walk, for example, if you want a different type of walk,
Right.
if you can go in the library, and you can see that you have different characters from LBP1,
yes.
LBP3.
Right.
Let's say I want him to walk like Newton, for
All right.
example.
That's a good walk.
Newton has a very interesting walk to say
Yes.
the least.
Okay. And also, so don't forget, you have to rotate him.
Right. Because he will always be looking forward.
Yeah,
You
you
have to
didn't
rotate
have
him in
that.
the right direction.
Again,
Okay.
cool looking, but not necessarily
Yeah.
what you want for a particular scene.
exactly. So you can see now he's walking like
I do
Newton.
like that walk, yeah.
It's got some plans going on.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're good.
He's up to something tonight.
Yeah.
So now I want him to move forward in the layer, for example. I want him to join the lady here.
All right.
Okay.
So
Actor
I'm-
B?
Actor B, yes.
Yes.
You can call it whatever. You can
Yes.
Call it whatever. But
We'll call Actor B for simplicity's
yeah,
sake.
exactly. So I'm gonna put a battery to the in and out mover. I'm gonna tell it to move to layer 4, where is the lady standing,
Okay.
and to give him the same walk, I'm gonna take the same animation tweaker here, but make him turn it facing forward. So 0 degrees, sorry, 0
Okay.
here. So now if I impose, he'll go there and he'll walk front. Okay, that's quite simple.
Cool.
So I have to make it just longer. So one thing that is cool with using this method is that you can just make the element longer or shorter
Okay.
if you want them to last longer. And stuff. So
Right.
that's quite easy when you use it as a sequencer. So here you go. If I want him to go just a bit quicker to get to the lady.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. Almost
Nice,
there.
yeah.
Almost there.
Almost there.
So it needs a bit of tweaking when
Yeah,
you really
yeah,
try
very
to
much.
time stuff.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to try not to spend too much time tweaking stuff, but you get
alright.
the idea. Like
Yeah,
that.
Yeah,
definitely.
nice. So have an experiment, play around, and you'll get it right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so one thing I want to ask, you know,
Yeah.
you have those lines on the animation tweakers. Sometimes they intersect and they cross over. What is that, referencing exactly?
The lines on the animation.
Yeah,
tweaker,
exactly.
So it shows how the blending of an animation is. For example, now you can see that the line is straight. It's because it's not blending with anything else.
Right. Okay.
But you can see here that there's a little. We barely see it, but there's, like you see here.
Yeah,
in
there's
the
a little
beginning,
cross section, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Here it goes back down because it's the end of the animation.
Uh-huh.
But you can, if you make this longer, if you go in the animation tweaker menu and go down here in blending, you have a time here, blend time.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So it's set by default to a short time, but
Mhm.
you can make it longer actually. So you can see that.
Oh, I see. You can
Yeah.
see it coming across now.
Yeah. So it means that the blending between this animation and the next one will be longer,
Right.
so smoother.
Okay.
So depend what you want to do, but it could be useful if you want something a bit less,
Immediate.
Immediate. yeah.
Right.
So that's quite handy.
Okay.
Something to keep in mind. So what I was doing? Okay, so
You want something for actor B now, I believe.
Actor B.
yeah, actor B. So
He's
let's
seen it.
say we want her to smile when the little guy arrive next to her.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Normally you don't get that in real life. Well, if you're walking
So-
the way you do like that, I don't know. It always seems like there's something sinister
Yeah.
going
You'll
on.
get some looks, but I don't think they're often very smart.
So you have a sagbot behavior on each sagbots, where you can set different options, including the expression.
Mhm.
So here it's set to neutral. If I want her to be neutral, then become happy, like just smile.
Right.
I'm gonna duplicate this chip and set it to
Kind of looks like
smile.
Sarah right there.
Kinda, yeah.
Excited.
I will set it to happy, for example. And I'm gonna come here. I have a battery here. I'm gonna just put this battery, link it to that chip.
Uh-huh.
And I also want her to face the
Right.
the
character, yeah.
character, to when he arrives. So I'm
Clearly
gonna
she doesn't
put
want to smile at us.
Yeah. We're not walking up to her.
yeah. So I'm gonna put I'm gonna rotate her to like that,
Okay.
and let's see how it looks.
All right. Please look at me. Yay.
For
Excellent.
example, that's
Yeah.
that's very. I mean, that's very.
It's very basic.
Yeah,
Yeah, very basic. I mean, we need more time to really
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
do it good. But this is just, I'm just showing you how it works.
Mm-hmm. And obviously, if you blend the animations together, you know, it'll
Yeah.
be smoother for everybody. Oh, hey.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
type of stuff.
Yeah,
Alright.
yeah, yeah. But this is just a basic. It's globally a succession of animation tweaker, different animation,
Right.
and stuff that you activate. If you want to activate a smile, a walk, whatever, you just put all this on a timeline,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and basically that's the principle of it.
And obviously,
Yeah.
with the
Go for it.
color coding and everything like that, you're able to
Yeah.
keep things in check.
Nice
Yeah.
and organised, you can see what's going
Yeah.
on.
Because
I know
sometimes it could get, I mean, in big cutscenes it's way more complicated
Yeah.
than that.
I've
rather
seen your
than
logic in the cutscenes. It's pretty intense, but at the same time, it's still very readable as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, always try to keep it clean, and I
Mhm.
think, it's a good thing. So, for example, if I go now here, I prepared a scene.
Yes, this
So
one is a
this-
bit more
yeah,
involved
this is a-
in comparison. Yeah.
So as
Still
we-
a simple scene,
Yeah.
but there's a lot more stuff. So,
Cool.
but basically, it's still the same thing. You have the camera here on top. You have the first actor,
Act 1.
animation,
Awesome.
and batteries that trigger elements,
Okay.
and the second actor here, purple up. all
Cool.
the way
You can
down
see
here.
the animation blending as well that
Yeah.
you did a
Yeah.
couple times. Yeah.
So actually, let's watch this scene, and then I'll explain little stuff on it. Let me see if I turn down this one.
Yeah. Make sure
Yeah,
the
turn
time
it-
markers aren't active or anything like that.
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I tend to do is a lot with sequencers. Like I'll have a time marker active in another part of the level, and the next thing you know, it's
You
like,
just-
why is it activating?
Yeah, and as soon as you unpause, it's just like, ugh.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start it here. Let's go in preview mode. No,
There we go.
and let's move her out of the way
I'm out of the way.
and unpause.
Oh, hello, sir.
Pug sock.
So those are our two characters from before.
Nice. Actor is.
Oh, he looks happy.
Yep.
We can call him Jack also.
Yeah, well, Jackbot.
Yeah.
Jackpot.
Who's that one? Jessbot.
So this is really just a very simple little scene.
Fade to black end
Right.
scene. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's very simple, but
Uh-huh.
it's just to show how you can make a very simple scene with just a few animation. Like, first just going to talk about the cameras, and we're just going to show the cameras here. First, when you have a succession of camera like that, you can move between them by pressing R1 and L1.
Okay.
Maybe
let's take a
some
look at
people
that.
don't know that, so if I
Yeah.
push that, I can go to the next camera,
Nice.
next camera, next camera, next camera, next.
And obviously,
mean?
yeah, if cameras are either linked by a sequencer or maybe connected by their outputs.
Yeah, I
then
mean,
you
even
can do
even
that.
if the cameras are on a microchip linked together, just in
Okay.
a succession, you can also do that.
Yeah,
They
but
have to
it
be-
won't jump to another camera out of nowhere.
No, they have to be
No.
linked, but or by sequencer
Okay.
or by
Okay,
a wire.
cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's cool because you don't have to get out of the camera and select the next one. So it's kind of cool.
Hello, JC.
Oh, hello, JC.
Hello,
This
JC.
is supposed to-
There he is.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh my
JC
God.
again.
JC.
We had his picture up last time, but
Yeah.
because, you know, he has a kid and he's already had it up
Yeah.
before, there's no need for that. But yes, JC, he's out there as well. We love you.
We love him.
In the theme of
the
the stream,
theme.
we love you. Ish.
Okay, so before JC interrupted me,
That was clever. He managed that without being
Yeah,
here.
no kidding, always.
um,
So yeah, that was lovely, the little trick by pressing L1 and R1 with camera scenes or cameras connected together.
I mean, it's a good trick to know because sometimes it's annoying to just go in each camera one by one.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And also by showing that, I also wanted to say that when you make a cutscene, it's good to have very different angle, like to have nice angles and have different like zoom in, zoom out, close-ups, just to give the whole thing more dynamic. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
more
feel just like
variety.
like just not just a flat, boring view, front view. So that's kind of cool, and
It's very cool.
That's very cool. Yes.
and another thing. So what can I show you here?
Oh yeah, so you have two,
I
Yeah.
have two animation tweaker here overlapping.
right.
So why is that? You're gonna ask.
That's a very good
Why is
question. Took the words right out of my mouth. Jeff.
So here I'm using a surprised animation.
Like Sarah's face, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. So the surprise animation by its own is very, how you say, like
Scared. Very
very scared.
surprised.
Like
Yeah.
the mouth is very
Super
open.
excited.
Super.
Like this. Ah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you can actually tone it down, for example, by combining it with another animation, which is here. It's just a basic,
Okay.
neutral,
So
hide,
Okay, just the idle animation.
just a hide one.
Yeah.
And when you combine two animation like that, it kind of takes like 50% of one and 50% of the other.
Right. Okay.
So here it's going to tone down the surprise, so it's just going to look like just a bit less surprise.
So like,
yeah.
I can't,
yeah,
something
it's
like
not like a big.
So it's more of a.
like- Yeah, it's just like a little.
We could be actors, yeah.
And actually, that could work for anything. I mean, you can always try. You can experiment and try to blend two animations together and see, because you can have nice result if you really want something specific. You can get to it by using this kind of trick.
Excellent.
So
And
just play around and see what ones you like.
we actually had another question regarding the animation blending. So maybe we can just go over it one more time with the intersecting lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can stay here actually.
So I mean, we already have a couple that are kind of like just crossing over right there
Yeah.
and everything like that. So
Yeah. So basically, it's just the purple line here. It's just how this animation is gonna end. It's gonna end here. It's go down, and this is where this is gonna start. So the transition of both is just like the blending.
okay.
Okay.
And as I said, if you want to make it longer, you can make it longer like that. Wait, let me zoom out a bit.
It's blending into the other one now.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
I mean, each animation has its own blending time.
Right.
So you have to do with it. But if I want this, so attract one. I don't know if maybe it's not going to be very easy to show it here, but let's play it again here.
All right. So yeah, just where would it be? Where
Oxox's
would
an
it be?
incredible actor.
I know. So you can see here where he's going to wave at her. It blended directly into the hider one.
Yeah,
so that's
it
why
did.
it felt
It
short.
went like, yeah.
So maybe that's not the best example, but it's just a way to really merge. I don't know how to explain, but
Oh,
it's just like
yeah.
Yeah.
just,
A nice transition between certain
if
things
you want
makes it smoother.
the transition to last longer, you make that blend time longer.
Okay.
Basically, that's.
Can you combine more than two? Like
Do you
which-
mean just blending time or animation like that?
like that as well? Yeah.
You can do whatever you
Yeah.
want. For example, if I put a second surprise here, the 3 overlapping will be more like divided by 3.
Yeah. So
it
that's
will
why the bar has
Yeah.
gone further down,
be,
correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. I mean, you can experiment. You can do a lot of
Could you-
stuff. It's quite powerful. So.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Could you mix and match sort of 3 animations together, or is that not going to get you much?
You can try. That's why I said you can
always
experiment.
try.
You can have horrible result, or you can have very good result, depending what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. So it's worth experimenting, I
Cool.
guess. What else did I wanted to show here?
Oh yeah, with the cameras and everything like that. We had a couple questions regarding depth of field.
Depth of
Yeah, I
field.
think that's something that was a nice addition to the
Yeah.
LittleBigPlanet 3 camera system.
Yeah.
Especially with all the new added layers of depth and
Yeah.
everything like that.
So depth of field is good to use when you want. Let me go in preview mode. So for example, here I have a depth of field in the back. I have 70%.
Yeah.
You see here.
Yeah.
Depth of field is good to give a bit more depth and also to make everything in the foreground
Right.
pops more. For example, if you see here, if I put it to 0, it becomes a bit,
Oh yeah.
you know, all
Yeah.
together, a bit
Mhm.
messy.
Yeah, we don't have the focus on the character.
Yeah.
in front.
Yeah.
So you want to blur out
So
the
if you
background
could
bit.
just, yes, here it's stand out more. Rather.
Yeah, and it really brings her out.
Yeah. And you also have a foreground depth of field. Let me just find the.
There you go, using L1 and R1.
Yeah.
There it
See?
is.
It's very handy. So as you can see here, I have 20% depth of field in the front.
Yeah.
So it's very subtle, but you
Yeah.
can see that on the little arches here, if I put 20, it becomes a bit blurry.
Yeah.
So it also, just to give the focus to the center of the scene,
Right. Makes a big difference.
yeah, it helps. And it actually feels more professional.
Yeah, there it is, see? Cutscene king.
So do you prefer to sort of create in the center of a level, or do you sometimes like to sort of bring them to the front layers or the back layers?
It really depends what you want to do. I
It's-
think the
okay.
center is good because you can add a bit of depth behind and also
Right.
put some stuff in the foreground.
Okay.
But it really depends what kind of scene you want to build, really.
And will depth of field add any like negative effects to like the thermometer? Will it add any lag? I mean, considering it is a graphical.
No,
okay.
it doesn't have
Okay.
any
Cool,
implication on
excellent.
that. So you can use it as free as you want.
Make an entirely blurry.
Exactly, you can make it all blurry. Okay, and what did I have little characters here, for example.
Yeah, so what are we doing
I'm
with
using-
swooping? Now it's talking.
Yeah, a little swoop here and a little outside here. For example, if you want to just put some character just to animate a scene, but they don't really have any interaction with your main, I don't know, with the main characters.
So
or
like an
main-
extra.
Yeah, just like
in
an
the
extra in the
background, yeah.
background or whatever. You can
Mhm.
You have no
Just put-
lines, which is actually
yeah,
quite
exactly.
the
You can,
same for Swoop
yeah.
anyway.
you can just give him a simple animation on loop, for example. Like here, I gave him a little animation on
Oh,
loop.
okay.
You can put it directly on the side ports, so you don't really have to put it here and be lost. in
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Because you don't really need
If
to
he's-
activate anything.
yeah.
It's just on him.
If he doesn't need to be
directly.
timed or anything,
Yeah.
you can just leave him to
Yeah,
loop.
exactly.
Yeah, in the last stream we also, I think, kind of covered the sequencer and animation tweakers as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for example, you can see how there's a sequencer here,
Mhm.
and if here there's like a little tweet. How you say tweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, tweet.
Tweeting sound.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chirp chirp chirp. So you can put them directly here.
Not a good word.
So when it plays, just read the sounds on loop.
Yeah.
Yep.
So really
Nice.
so you can match the sound with the action. If you want.
Okay, cool.
And here we have Oddsock as a pug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pug sock.
Oh, pugs off.
Odd pug.
So it's the same thing. It's just a loop here, and we have this little boy next to it, little side boy here. If you see here, he's looking at the dog. Sorry.
Yeah.
So that's from LBP2 also. So if you look, you can make a character look at something by using a tag, for example. So that's why I have a tag here on Oddsock, a blue tag here.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I choose the same tag. But the different thing here is that this character is facing backwards in the animation. You see it's like backwards now.
Right.
Yeah.
And to make him look directly at something behind,
Mhm.
when he's in that position, you have to select in the look at option, you have to select this option, which is look directly towards things.
Right.
Okay.
If we don't have it on.
Because if you don't, I don't know if you can see here.
He's only looking.
Oh, okay.
I
So
guess.
he's sort of looking kind of towards him, but not at him.
Yeah.
So he won't look behind if he doesn't have that on.
No, you have
Right,
to press
okay.
that
Okay.
to look behind, so it feels more natural. Here it doesn't feel natural because it's not turning, but if you do that, it makes sense.
Right.
So that's also a little trick to know. Yeah, basically that's all. That's really just the base of how to start if anybody wants to make a cutscene.
Excellent.
That's globally the little stuff that you have.
A little
Yeah.
sequencer, a
Yeah.
couple cameras.
Little scenes.
Well, actually, one thing I could add here. Imagine if you have a big cutscene with different like scenes,
Yeah.
for example.
Yep.
So let's say this is a scene.
Yeah.
If I have another scene, instead of using the same sequencer,
Right.
I would almost advise. Let me just grab this one. I'm gonna copy this. Let's say it's a second scene.
Right.
Okay.
Put it here. And I'm just gonna open this quickly. So this is my first scene. This is the second scene here. So I can just link them both with a battery. Where is the battery? Here.
There
Which
we
you can
go.
put just at the end here. You can color code it if you want to know. Okay, the blue, the purple batteries are the one that is going to trigger the next sequence.
Okay.
So if I take this here and just plug it here,
Right.
when this cutscene, this scene, sorry, will be over, it's going to trigger the second one.
Okay.
So the advantage of this is that you don't have like gigantic
Right.
sequencers.
Yeah.
Sequencers,
Yeah.
sorry.
That would be hard to keep up with, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. So it's better. It's small, modular.
Yeah.
So
Modular,
you sort of
yeah.
break into scenes as such.
Yeah, exactly.
As
That's
scene one finishes,
Yeah.
we move on to the next scene.
yeah. That's a good way I think to work. So keep it clean and easy to know where is
Cool.
everything.
Excellent. So I think you have another little bit that you want to add to the scene if you want to give it a little more,
Yes. So
make it more thematic.
yeah, I
to say
mean,
the
from
least.
just from an artistic point of view, for example, if you can give a cutscene any style you want. For example, here, let's turn this scene that you just seen already into like a black and white movie.
All right,
Okay.
cool.
Kind of.
Very classic. I like that.
Yeah. So, for example, here I set two global lighting tweaker with a color correction to black and white. So you see, you can choose it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna put two actually, one lighter than the other, and I'm gonna how do you say loop them.
Yeah.
Loop them very quickly, just to give that black and white flashing
Oh yeah,
effect
so it sort of
kind of thing.
flickers between the two.
And also, let's say if I remove here some cameras and just make the cameras a bit more like in the old Charlie Chaplin movies or
Mhm.
something where they are more how do you say forward.
Yeah, front forward and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So
They didn't have the equipment we have today.
yeah, no, it's more like more simple camera stuff.
Yeah.
So let's do I don't know something like that maybe.
Yeah.
I will just do those two cameras. So we
Right.
can just
Okay.
So let's play it with that play. No. Let me just trigger
That
this.
should be good to go.
Yeah. So if I'm pause now,
Hey, there you go.
just look like an old movie.
Uh-huh.
Like you can really give different flavors to a cutscene. Really, I mean, I don't think people should be afraid to just be inspired by I don't know the movie they like
Mhm.
or TV shows, whatever, theater, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. And I think you can really come up with good stuff.
Yeah, because there have been some pretty awesome ones out there, like recreating certain movie
Yeah,
scenes, like the
yeah.
Jurassic Park one that was
Yeah,
really
yeah.
cool and everything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was amazing for
Yeah.
something
I mean,
really
just
short.
with simple things, you can really give a nice character to the whole thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And obviously you can, with those new transitions, or the transitions that you showed us earlier,
Yeah.
with the, what was it, track player, when you add it
Yeah,
to
yeah,
the beginning.
track
And you
player,
can
yeah.
also add it to the end as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can do so also at the
Mhm.
end.
So
yeah.
nice transitions between into a cutscene and then out of a cutscene too.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I mean, we can how do you say? I mean, this is really the base. I mean, you have to experiment
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
try stuff.
Yeah.
but it's not that hard really. I
Mm.
think people should give it a go. It's quite interesting.
Yeah, you'll be sitting where you're at next time, you know.
Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll have this level uploaded on our the LBP curator
Yeah. So
PSN account later, so you'll be able to download it and play around with it yourself.
have a look.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do some crazy stuff
Yeah.
with it. So yeah, that's
So
awesome.
that's the fireball setup. And then
So I troubled up so angry.
you'll see in a minute.
Yes, we will find out.
And then, so the